thoughts on the offense, Reagan. Let's see if that Oklahoma internet will hold out for more than 3 minutes.
Never had issues like this, but no, I'm really excited. So my biggest concern going in was the offensive line, because obviously we had basically 5 starters leave. Not that the offensive line was super productive anyway, but it was a ton of seniority that was leaving, and you're questioning, who are we going to bring in? How are we going to not only are we going to have a new starting quarterback, but he's going to have to do it with a new front line who they may have no familiarity with. And so what we do is we get Cooper Bassett, who I think is one of the best hires of the offseason, period. Awesome offensive line coach from Utah State, also former Oklahoma State player. So he has a lot of ties to Stillwater, knows how to recruit, is going to be loyal, all the good things. And then I think the best part was then seeing who we brought in, because this is what I was saying when our NIL, we've done things that we've never done before. Our offensive line additions are awesome. I mean, you're looking at just making sure I get the names right, but the offensive lineman for Virginia Tech, can't think of their name off the top of my head. Cody, do you remember? Was it Bob Schick or something like that?
Bob Schick from Virginia Tech. You got Marcus Keys from Appalachian State. You've got Louis Canepa coming over from New Mexico State.
The Nebraska kid as well. Like really, really good additions. And the offensive lineman from Virginia Tech, I want to focus on him. That's a 6'5", 300-pounder. I mean, that guy played 20 games, allowed 0 sacks. So he's like one of those guys that you're looking at, oh my goodness, Oklahoma State just brought him in. So I think based on the offensive lineman production we had last year, now this year, I'd argue it's an upgrade. I really hope that they were specific in the type of packages that we are bringing into with Meacham. Are they rush first? Are they going to be good on the option? Are they going to be familiar with the new schemes? They don't have a ton of time to figure all these things out, and the offensive line is arguably the most important part of your offense holistically. So I'm really proud of what we did there.
Yeah, I'll tell you another thing, Clint, real quick about the linemen that have me pretty excited, other than the additions that we've brought in. He mentioned Cooper Bassett, right? Former Cowboy, defensive end, converted offensive tackle, coming back home. But we also got Andrew Mitchell, who was just a coordinator in his own right at New Mexico State. He's an offensive line mind from Oklahoma State. And we've got Grant Garner, former All-American. So we have 3 offensive linemen, which is something that we've never done before. And we did the same thing on the defensive side of the ball. We have 3 linebackers coaches. We have a nickel coach. We have 2 corners coaches. So we're doing some individual training that we've never, ever done before, right? The less is more approach has been something that we've always operated off of. This year is different. We have individual coaches for individual positions. And I think, again, we're operating more like an NFL franchise. It'll be exciting to see if it comes to fruition this season.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I will ask you this, though, because you're actually in a very similar situation to Kansas State, where they've brought in a lot of really appealing looking offensive linemen in the portal, and they've all got the measurables. They look great on paper. Yeah. But is there any concern about these guys' ability to gel together and to do so relatively quickly?
Yeah, I think Reagan nailed it. We weren't very good from an offensive line perspective, but when you have 5, 60 or 70-year seniors, from a continuity standpoint, that's got to be pretty good for at least the install of the offense. With having 40 new transfers, essentially, and a new defensive system, new offensive system, that continuity is not going to be there, right? So it's going to be a trial and error throughout the course of the season before we figure it out. That's the only downside to playing Oregon week 2 is we're not going to have any clue what the team's going to look like in week 2. And I think the offensive line will be a little bit of musical chairs because we have some guys like Jack and Dean and Noah McKinney and Louis Canepa that aren't exactly 100%. So we're currently rotating because we have to. It'll be interesting to see how long it takes throughout the course of the season before we dial that group in.
Yeah, well, and in keeping with the theme of uncertainty, Dishfish asked a great question earlier. Who replaces Ollie Gordon? Who are we looking to carry the load at running back there?
Cody and I are going to disagree on this one. I already know, but you go first.
Well, if we're going to have a 2-quarterback system, I think it makes sense to have the Thunder and Lightning package from a running back perspective. Obviously, Trent Hallen is going to be the Thunder package guy. And then Rodney Fields was a true freshman that turned heads last year, looked a lot like a young version of Justice Hill. However, the guy who's been, in my personal opinion, kind of stealing the headlines at the running back group is Caleb Hicks, the OU transfer.
Oh, we're good. We're good, Cody. Yeah. I've been shouting Caleb Hicks praises since he committed to Oklahoma State. I was talking to one of my OU buddies, an insider over at 247. We were discussing what that looks like how good Caleb Hicks is, and he says, "Man, that's the guy. If I were to look back on it, we're going to have to go and get someone out of the portal, which they inevitably did, and a kid from California, but." He said, that's a guy I wish we didn't let go of all the players because he has so much upside. This is a Sunday guy, unbelievable speed. He's gaining muscle as well. I mean, you can put him in any package you want in terms of speed. I'm talking option. You can put him in as a receiving back if you want to. You can take him down the middle if you get the right blocks. He's really good on those inside packages. This guy has it all to me. And then the fact that you have Fields right behind him, who's also a lightning guy that I would say has a little bit more of that strength to him. There's so many options running back wise for Oklahoma State. 2-quarterback system. I mean, you'll be seeing 3-4 running backs deep all year. It's a great problem to have.
And I'll tell you another thing. I don't know if this is going to be something that carries over into the season, but a lot of things that we saw throughout the spring were having 2 running backs in the backfield at the same time. So I think that's going to be a pretty intriguing thing to see develop because with the running quarterbacks, when you have the differentiation between the Thunder and Lightning packages in the backfield, you have to respect it a little bit more. And I think the running ability of both Haas and Zane factored in with the running backs. We are going to be a matchup issue for a significant number of defenses.
Mm-hmm.
But replacing the production of Ali, probably not going to happen. I think it'll be more like a committee approach. I mentioned Justice Hill earlier. Yeah. I think Trent Howland could have a Chris Carson level season, right? Justice Hill rushed for like 1,400 yards in the same season. Chris Carson rushed for almost 600. Now, do I think we're going to have a 1,400-yard rusher? No, I don't. But I do think that we could have a 1,000-yard guy and a 600-yard guy alongside a 500-yard running back as well.
Before we move to the next point, Cody, I think something that we're not mentioning too is this isn't going to be the same offense. We're not going to have 13 runs up the gut this year. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
So needing an Ollie Gordon type guy won't be necessary for Oklahoma State if they click in the areas that it seems like the offense is moving towards. It's going to be a lot more about the running back or the running threat of your quarterbacks combined with at any moment in time, you can hand it to Caleb Hicks who can break off for a 65-yard run. And this is a guy that can run when he's at full sprint, no pads 4.3. So he's really electric, super fast, super dangerous, and to have all types of options all over the place is going to keep a defense guessing.